and welcome back to my YouTube channel, The Sharpening Guide. Today, we're going to coat a new piece of leather together using a brand new diamond emulsion with 0.25 micron in a monocrystalline formulation. Since it's from Germany, I'm confident in its excellent quality. So far, I've always used stroppy stuff on my leathers and been happy with it, but I love trying something new and I hope for even better results. That's why I picked up this diamond emulsion, which I stumbled upon, and I'm really curious to see what it can do. It's also available in 1 and 3 micron versions, and in various milliliter sizes, which is great because it lets me start with a small amount for testing. So why 0.25 microns? The reason is that I use a special 1 micron coated felt for deburring. If you haven't seen that in my sharpening videos yet, please check them out. I also ordered a new sharpening stone that's rated at 0.5 microns. If it performs well, I'd like to eventually switch to using only the 0.25 micron diamond emulsion to streamline my sharpening process, achieving the same or even better results in fewer steps. I'll now show you how I personally coat a new piece of leather, not just how I apply it, but also how I prepare it. For this project, you'll need some fine sandpaper. I usually use between 2000 to 3000 grit, the leather, the diamond emulsion, a brush, the sharpening stone holder, and a glass. If you haven't seen the sharpening stone holder yet, be sure to watch its introduction video because it's simply brilliant and solves many problems. First, I lay the leather on a sharpening stone or a perfectly flat surface to check that it's truly straight. With leather, it's not uncommon for the surface to be slightly uneven. It's also important to inspect the edges, as they can sometimes be raised. If you spot any irregularities, you can use specialized leather tools to trim the sides and create a more uniform surface. For minor uneven spots, you can even dress the leather like a sharpening stone. Using a glass plate and fine sandpaper works well. A small pressure mark might slightly affect the final result, but overall, I'm satisfied with the quality. By the way, I ordered this test leather from the same shop where I got the diamond emulsion. Next, I clamp the leather in my sharpening stone holder. Just be careful not to tighten it too much, or the aluminum might bend. Now the real work begins. Although the tanned leather is very smooth and you could apply the emulsion directly, I prefer to lightly roughen the surface with fine sandpaper. This opens up the leather's pores so the diamond emulsion can penetrate better during the coating process. I also round off the edges a bit more carefully. After sanding, I make sure to remove all the fine dust, ideally with compressed air, to provide a clean base for the emulsion. Before applying the diamond emulsion, I give it a good shake to evenly distribute the diamond particles in the carrier fluid. As you can see, the emulsion is still completely new. I remove the cap at the front using a knife, then shake it again. After that, I drop a few drops into a glass. If I take out too much, I can use a syringe to return the excess to the container. Although this method uses a bit more product, the result is definitely worth it. It's important that the emulsion is spread evenly over the entire surface, including the edges. I prefer using a brush and glass for application because applying it directly can cause the leather to absorb it unevenly. With this technique, even though the consumption is slightly higher, the result is much better and more uniform. Thanks to the sharpening stone holder, working on the leather is much easier than trying to hold it with your fingers. I find the diamond emulsion dries exceptionally quickly. I'm still a little unsure about the dosage, since the carrier fluid spreads differently than I'm used to, but even if it looks like the emulsion is only spotty at first, the fine diamond particles will be distributed evenly by the brush. After letting the leather dry for 24 hours, I'll test the new diamond emulsion already tomorrow. Since I haven't worked with this exact type of leather before, I'm especially curious to see how it behaves during stropping, although it already looks very promising visually. Before I use the leather for the first time, I'll also do a light touch-up coat and let it dry for another 1 hour. The carrier fluid dries so quickly that I can even add an extra drop or two during sharpening without any extra waiting time for drying. That's a big plus for the emulsion. I'm looking forward to seeing just how well this emulsion performs. The first impression and the initial application have already pleasantly surprised me. Once again, the sharpening stone holder has made the process so much easier, allowing for a clean and even application without the hassle of holding the leather by hand. Stay tuned for the first test with the 0.25 micron diamond emulsion to see if we can further optimize our sharpening process. If I'm happy with the result, I'll pick up the 1 micron diamond emulsion from the same shop to ensure a consistent transition, but for now, we're testing this version. But after the first impression, I already somewhat regret not having also ordered the 1 micron directly. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a thing, give the video a thumbs up, and remember, keep your knives sharp.